Hello everyone, welcome to the Mattoon Corner. So today's video is going to be a bit different. Unlike my other videos where I actually worked with a script, this time I'm just going to be recording myself rambling, just talking to myself basically. So I decided to try and do this kind of video because I actually want to talk about something that I have an opinion on. Not just me as in Mattoon, my character that you guys see all the time, but as in me, Mattoon, the guy you see making the videos. So, I guess you can call this my first real talk, I guess, but I don't want to really call it that. But anyway, let's get down to business. Nintendo has just recently announced its newest console, the Nintendo Switch. And let me just say, I am extremely excited for this. I mean, I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. I grew up playing Nintendo games. Mario is one of my favorite game series of all time. I'm just really excited for this. I mean, I personally don't own a Wii U because, quite frankly, the price here in Brazil, it's pretty expensive if you must know. It costs like about $1,000 around here. Yeah, $1,000, you heard that right. So I've personally never played a Wii U game before, but I have been keeping up with its rather lackluster performance. I mean, I've heard that there are plenty of great games on the Wii U, like Zelda, Hyrule Warriors, there's Smash Bros, there's Splatoon, there's Paper Mario 3D World, I think it's World of Land, I always get too confused, yeah, but the fact is, the Wii U, well, it kind of failed. It's no surprise there. I mean, in my opinion, putting the Wii logo on it just to see if they can cash in on the previous audience was, well, a bit of a jerkish move in my opinion, and a dumb one. But apparently the NX, well, look what I'm saying, the Switch, I'm gonna call it the NS from now on, or just a Switch. Yeah, I'll call it the Switch. Yeah, the Switch apparently is just something new, more or less. I mean, I'm not quite sure how to describe it, just, the Switch just feels like a breath of fresh air. It's different, but in a good way. I mean, you could see it has that appeal to people who like playing video games, like hardcore gamers, but at the same time, it has this sense of, I don't know, it feels like it's going to be fun, in my opinion. It feels like people are going to enjoy themselves with this console. Now, I'm going to start off by saying what I liked about the NX and the Switch, what I liked about the Switch, and what I didn't like about the Switch. So, let's start off with the pros. Basically, I like how this thing is taking a direct new approach to the whole controller with a screen, basically. You're not required to play the game with a second screen, although that is another comment I'll be going back. Basically, it's kind of like a better version of the Wii U controller, I guess, but it's different enough to be considered its own thing. That, and I love the style of it. I love the logo, I love the overall aesthetics of it. It looks really, really cool. One thing I really liked about this trailer was we got to see a lot of the NX in action. There wasn't just a bunch of like hyping us up. It was us seeing what this thing can do, and I really liked it because we got to see some gameplay. We got to see just how many people are backing this up. I mean, have you seen the list of third-party support this thing has? It's amazing, really. And basically, to me, the Nintendo Switch has everything. It has everything it needs to be a very amazing console. It has everything it needs to be a success. At the same time, it has everything it needs to be a flop too. Basically, I'm worried about a couple of things, to be honest. But I'll get to those in a bit. First of all, let me just say that this trailer was extremely well executed. It got us like curious in the beginning, and it basically just kept giving us a whole bunch of new stuff. Every tiny little new detail basically was hyping us up, and I personally didn't look into the rumors regarding the NX because, well, I don't like to spoil myself. I tried my hardest to stay as far away from any rumor or any leaks as possible. The only thing I really looked into was the fact that it might have been a hybrid console, which it turned out to be, but I'm obviously not disappointed. Lots of things in this thing surprised me, like the Switch controllers. I forgot what those things are called, but it's something very interesting. Now, one thing a lot of people on the internet seem to be mentioning is that when the guy in the trailer was playing The Legend of Zelda, he noticed how when he plays it on his smaller screen, the frame rate tends to drop. And I've noticed that too, but when you compare it to the other games like Skyrim and Mario Kart, the other ones that appear in the trailer, they don't lag out like that. They don't have that tremendous frame rate drop. And to be perfectly honest, guys, I don't think Nintendo would be investing that much for a second screen if it's going to lag out like that. I honestly doubt that they were going to invest this much if the second screen was going to be a lesser experience than the actual console version. It's a concept that seems completely ridiculous. I mean, with the amount of third-party support this thing is getting, I honestly doubt that the smaller screen is going to have such a terrible frame rate compared to the console version. I mean, it's just ridiculous to even imagine that. I mean, yeah, we can be worried, but come on, we have to hope for the best. They still have 6 months. I know that isn't much, but who knows? Hopefully they'll iron out all the kinks until then. What I also want to talk about here is, one thing I'm personally worried about is how much battery life this thing is going to have. Because, well, it wants to be a hybrid portable console, so obviously the thing needs battery life, and, well, I own a 3DS. I managed to buy a 3DS here in Brazil, but it has a decent enough battery life, but I can't say the same for the Wii U, as I've never owned one, like I said. But I have heard some reports that it doesn't have that good of a battery life either, so that is one point I'm very worried of. I'm very worried about the battery life. Because, well, if it doesn't have a good battery, what's even the point of taking it out and going on a trip with it, honestly? It just seems ridiculous. And plus, that also brings up another question. Will we be able to use another way to charge it, or does it have to be on the docking station? Because, let's say, for example, you're going on a trip and you want to take your NX. So you take your portable, and you leave your docking station at home, and you go on a trip. But on this trip, you're running low on battery, and you're going to have to sit, and you want to keep playing. So, is there any other way to charge it, or do we need another docking station? I'm just curious that way. Another thing I'm genuinely concerned of is the actual price, because, let's be honest, if the thing ends up costing way too much, people are not going to want to buy this. I mean, this is supposed to keep up with the PS4 and the Xbox One. Not in terms of hardware specifically, but it's supposed to be a rival to them, obviously. So, I'm just worried that if this thing ends up being too expensive, people are just going to go ahead and buy the other consoles. It's a logical worry, basically. Aside from the price, one thing I'm also really worried about is that it was recently revealed that we won't be getting any more details until the next year, which is honestly a huge bummer, honestly, because we have been waiting so long for any kind of information about this console, and we finally got a tiny little glimpse of it, and now we're denied more information. Honestly, it's a little nerve-wracking, yes, but look, I personally believe Nintendo has learned from its mistakes, but that doesn't mean it can't make mistakes again. We all saw what's happened with Sonic Boom, and let's just say that everyone is prone to making mistakes, even big companies, even big companies like them. So, I'm not to say I'm pessimistic. Like I said in the beginning, I am very excited for Nintendo Switch. I want this to be a very successful console, and it has every possibility to do so. The problem is, I've also mentioned I need to be realistic and accept the fact that it may have a few flaws, because nothing is perfect. That is a fact. But overall, the Nintendo NX, I'm excited. The Nintendo Switch. Dang it, I always do that. The Nintendo Switch is a very exciting console. It's different, it's unique, and that's what Nintendo does best. It takes such unique and different concepts and manages to turn something extraordinary. I mean, the Wii is probably one of the most sold video game consoles of all time. It basically created a new form of gaming, family gaming. It created something new, and Nintendo, they're kings of originality. Splatoon, for example, it was a huge different take on the third-person shooter. Mario itself is the platforming king. There's no denying that. Nintendo is great at making all these unique and different ideas work. While it did work with the Wii U, it has huge potential in the Nintendo Switch, and I am personally hoping that it will be a great console. But at the same time, I am worried. But hey, here, let's hope for the best, okay? Well, that's all the time for today. Until next time, everyone, and remember to be cool and be creative.